Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins, and we're in Chapter 5 of Ryoma's Round. And yeah, we're just being attacked by our father and our technically twin brother is still in drag right now, but anyway. Heisuke had leapt forward to jab at Kaoru, but his sword just barely grazed her sleeves, and also they came to save us, and whatever. I took this opportunity to gain distance from Kaoru. Then from the other direction... What a boorish group you are. I suppose it's time to turn in for today. No kidding. How shrewd of them. You're all like a pack of stray dogs that can't help themselves outside of their pack. You think we'd let you off that easy? Sorry, but not even a fly could break through our line. Nagakura puffed out his chest and drew his sword. Yeah? Father had quickly slipped something from out of his sleeve. It was a tiny glass bottle, and inside of it was a peculiar, suspiciously discolored liquid. Watch out, everyone! Get back! As he screamed, Father had already thrown the bottle toward the Shinsengumi warriors. Oh my god, don't kill any of them. What the hell is this? No one inhale the powder? Probably blind you or something. Hijikata tried to warn everyone, but it was too late. Well then, everyone, I bid you good day. Spacey, I'll come for you next time. Just you wait, child. He is so creepy. No, wait! I reached out as my fingertips just barely grazed their kimonos, but Father and Kaoru vanished like smoke. Literally, we're in the smoke. After him, guys. Don't let him get away. Oh, Hijikata. So angry. Men scoured every corner of the temple, as well as outside of it, but no sign of either my father nor Kaoru had shown itself. Later that night, Hijikata called for me to meet him in the common room. Sometimes I just want to see if it skips anything, but... Unfortunately, couldn't find Koto or the other girl. That Kaoru person. I'd hoped to find them and resolve this all before we started preparing for war against the Satsuma Choshu. Hijikata forcefully bit his lip, seemingly out of frustration, and all I could do was apologize. I'm so sorry, Hijikata. What are you apologizing for now? Because, as I tried to speak, my throat quivered. I didn't want to believe it was real, but because my father imposed the water of life onto the Shinsengumi, lying about being able to change the Furies back to their human forms. I knew it wasn't just simple research on the Furies that motivated my father to act as he did. There must be a deeper reason to it all. At least this was the hope I had been holding on to in my heart. It seemed like my father had no reservations in turning people into Furies, nor had he expressed the slightest hint of guilt for sacrificing real human lives for his purposes. This man was my father. It was my father. No point in feeling guilty about any of this. Choice to start researching the water of life and turning people into Furies. Something we decided ourselves. Hijikata tried to accept some of the criticism as his own to comfort my guilty feelings, but there was no way for me to easily absolve either my father or myself of the sins that were committed. Here's the funny part, right? You were blaming yourself. It's all my fault because my father did that. No, you are not to blame for the sins of your father. Look, Hijikata and the Shinsengumi a little bit to blame because, hey, they chose to go along with this and blah, blah, blah. So they got some, but you have none. Zero. I mean, you could be like, look, I feel bad that my father was a dick. You could feel, you could feel guilty. Like, look, I feel guilty because my father did this to you and that makes me feel bad because he was a dick. But it's not like, oh my god, my sins. Oh my god, I did this to you. No, you fucking didn't. You should feel more guilty and feel that way more strongly, like if it's your child that does stuff, because you're like, oh my god, was I a bad parent? Did I raise my kid wrong and he's a psycho murderer? That's a little more understandable, but as a child, you cannot be blamed for your parents being dickholes. You learn from it and go, look, my parents were dickholes, and I feel guilty about that, and I'm sorry my parents were dickholes, but I'm not going to be one. There's like a little bit less blame to be placed on a child whose parent's an asshole. Like, there's actually no blame to be placed on a child whose parent's an asshole, unless the child does something. In this case, we did nothing wrong. We can feel bad about it, and apologize on behalf of our father, but we have nothing to really, be blamed for. I can still feel guilty. Like, I just feel bad and guilty because my dad's a dick, but still. He's like, ugh. He's so frustrated with us. This is a frustration move. Hijikata placed his index and middle fingers on the right side of the bridge of his nose as he spoke. So you know, from here on, our mission is to kill your father, Kodo. Being here during this is too much for you. I'll make arrangements so you can leave whenever you want to. Thank you. It's very kind of you, but please, allow me to stay here for just a little longer. All right then. Understood. Father was the one responsible for cursing the Shinsengumi with the water of life. There was no way that, as his daughter, I could be allowed to take safe refuge somewhere far away and forget about all that's happened here. Besides, Father spoke about his ambitions to revive our family's clan. This is all my fault. I have to do whatever it takes to stop my father, even if that meant at the expense of my own life. Sakamoto, where are you right now? No, I know, right? It's his ending, and yet where the fuck is he? Nope. It was the dawn of a new year, January 3rd, 1867. War had finally broken out between the Shogunate army and the Satsuma Choshu forces. In comparison to the amassed total of 15,000 Shogunate soldiers, the Satsuma Choshu managed to gather just above a third of those numbers. It had been generally assumed that victory for the Shogunate army was a matter of when, as opposed to if. However, the Satsuma Choshu's use of advanced weaponry unexpectedly proved to be a key factor to disrupt the Shogunate army's plan of attack.
Yukamura, you are right. We've been running for a while. Are your feet tired or hurt?
I'm fine. In an effort to summon reinforcements, Inoue and I were sent towards the Kyoto domain. Oh god, he's gonna die there.
It is of the utmost importance that we complete our mission and return to the magistrate as soon as possible, for Toshi's sake.
Inoue's words had evoked my memory of all that had happened in the last few days.
Damn it! The hell is going on? Guns they're using are inhuman. Seems like it'll hit you a mile away.
There's no way we can just go in while they're reloading and charge them.
Well, sir, the enemy seems to be using a kind of gun that allows for breech loading, which means you only need your fingertips to reload.
What?
Those are the kind of guns that Sakamoto brought over from the foreign countries and sold to the Satsuma.
Oh, sorry.
Son of a bitch! Sure knows how to stir up a pot.
Ichikata's brow furrowed for a moment, trying to quickly whip up a plan of attack. Ken, I think you can head to Kyoto Castle and ask for some backup. They may have the technology. We definitely have the manpower. If we just throw men at them, we may stand a chance.
Very well. Consider it done.
Yukamura, go with him. It'll be safer out there than it is over here. Understood. It seemed the only thing the Shogunate had going for itself was our numbers, and I couldn't quite stomach the fact we seemed to be falling behind. However, for the Shinsengumi's sake, I must do whatever I can. Soon enough, we'd arrived at our destination of Kyoto Castle.
Hello! I bring a message from the warfront in Kyoto. We need support to push back Satsuma Choshu forces attempting to subvert control from our lord.
Inoue had been frantically yelling at the enormous closed gate in the castle's entrance. Huh? Finally, someone had peered out of the second-floor window, looking down at us. However, I saw something glimmer in his hand, reflecting from the sunlight. Oh, wait, is that... Inoue, look over there! Suddenly, gunfire had been aimed and shot at us. Inoue and I ducked down to evade being targeted. What's going on? I thought the Kyoto domain were loyalists.
They were. Until now, it seems.
What? That's betrayal!
Unfortunately, it happens more often than you would expect in the middle of wars. Let us return to Toshi. There's no point in us staying here any longer.
My heart was filled with frustration. To betray the Shogunate as it had been suffering. The roles were reversed, and it was Yodo Castle asking the Shinsengumi for help, we would never do such a thing. Inoue hung his head low, walking with a little slump in his back as we returned down the path. Just then, more gunshots had echoed behind us, but it wasn't in the direction we'd just come from.
Yukamura, get down!
I ducked instantly, and a bullet had just barely missed the tops of our heads as it sped past us.
That flag! It's the Tosa's!
Tosa domain? Tosa was Sakamoto's domain.
The Tosa should be loyalist as well.
Inoue turned to face me, signaling me to keep my head low and still until he gave the sign. Then, I hear another barrage of gunfire. Ah!
Yukamura, this way! There's no doubt! Those bullets are aimed for us, since we are Shinsengumi.
Inoue and I'd found some cover behind a pair of bushes just off the rural path. What the? Where'd those Shinsengumi guys go? Search the whole area! They can't have gone too far. Climb up a tree. Inoue nodded at me, and together we scurried from behind the bush to behind a large tree trunk. Somehow we were able to elude the attention of the Tosa soldiers. Of course, there was still no time to rest. As soon as it seemed like the coast was clear, Inoue gave me a tired smile.
So, we have Ryuma Sakamoto to thank for this Asuma Choshu's weaponry, do we? Seems Toshi had the right assumption.
I'm so sorry I'm in love with him, guys. This makes this path, like, they keep bringing this up. Oh my god, they're being such dickholes. This game is killing me. Because they're like, oh, that bastard. And you're like, but I love him. But Daddy, I love him. Fucking Little Mermaid up in here. Sorry. With the war being largely affected by the enemy's weaponry, and now that Sakamoto's home domain became the Shinsengumi's enemies, well, it was hard for me to deny how many favors Sakamoto seemed to have given our opposition.
You were rather close to Sakamoto, weren't you, Yukamura? This must be difficult for you.
It's fine. I tried my best to downplay how I felt about it all, but it seemed that Inoue saw right through me. This whole path seems like a bad path is all I'm saying, right? He tenderly placed his hand on my shoulder, smiling.
I want to give you time to process this, but it is imperative we hurry back to Toshi as soon as possible and update him to the treason of the Yoda and Tosa.
Yes, I know. We got back into the main trail, heading back toward the direction of Fushimi in a light jog. Oh god, he's gonna die here, isn't he? Oh, was it snowing? The sun had completely set by the time we had returned to Fushimi.
We're almost at the magistrate. Hang in there.
Yeah, no, this is where it gets scary, because this is, you, in the woods was scary, and here is scary, because you die all the time in a way, and I'm worried. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. Oh god, I'm not. Inoue's gonna die. I feel like he's gonna die. If we make it back with him alive, I'm gonna be relieved, but nope. Just as I responded to him, we were startled by a gang of footsteps from right behind us. It wasn't just one or two people either, but an entire troop of men behind us. We turned to face them slowly, and above them we saw the Tosa banner, shining brightly under a flaming torch. Inoue, they're back.
Followed us all the way, eh? Nothing we can do about it.
Oh god. I'm so sorry, Inoue. It's all my fault for loving Sakamoto. It's actually really not, because you die in every single path, but I still feel bad about it every time. Inoue drew out a sword, glaring in the direction where the enemies were standing.
Yukamura, hide. Do not come out until I tell you to.
Well, we're never going to come out because you're still going to die. But Inoue...
Everything will be okay. Luckily, they are not as dangerous as the other troops. Do not see any rifles. I've been a devout student of the Tenon Rishin style for this very reason. If it comes down to a show of swordsmanship, I can't lose. Now go!
I hope you're right in a way, because if you die, I'm going to be so fucking sad. It's like, you never get over it. This is the 10th path, and it's the 10th time he's going to die, and it still hurts every time. Inoue kindly urged me to hide, so I found a small patio to hide behind, just off the street next to us. However, as I watched Inoue from the shadows, I kept my right hand firmly fixed on my kodachi. Hold on, I'll take my allergy pills. Boop, 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 boop. If Inoue were to run into any serious trouble in battle, I fully accepted the risk of backing him up. Tosa warriors clothed in Western-style uniforms surrounded Inoue, one of them in particular licking his lips as he smirked creepily. Pause. Sorry, I take my pill. Sorry if you heard me slurping. Just then, Tosa's soldiers had charged for Inoue a lot faster than he'd expected them to. Oh god, they're all Furies.
Are they?
Inoue screamed, and as I realized why, my stomach dropped like a stone. The eyes of the Tosa warriors glowed an eerie, horrific shade of crimson, and as one of them came closer to my line of sight, I saw fangs. As Inoue blocked one of their advances with his sword, he attempted a low slash in quick return. Oh. That's why they were laughing. But his blade was smacked aside with ease. Inoue! My worry caused me to impulsively call out to him, and I panicked, realizing he wanted me to hide. I wasn't sure if I could use any powers, whatever ones I had, to fight the Furies, but even so, I should be able to help him out in some capacity by using my Kodachi. Yeah, whatever powers I have. What powers? You are the most useless demon ever. I mean, okay. Let's take the demon thing out of it, right? So she doesn't have, like, really sword fighting skill, and she tries. And she fails, but she at least tries, right? I give her props for that. But as a demon, she's motherfucking useless. You're a demon. You have no strength. You have no skill. Like, I understand if it's like, well, like a human, right? Sword fighting. I have no sword fighting skill. I've never been trained, so I would suck at it. I mean, I might try and fail miserably. She tries and fails miserably. So maybe as a demon, you know, being able to still sword fight and fight like a demon or whatever, you've got to do training still, so she's going to suck at it. But she should still have some kind of strength. What the fuck does she do? Why in the world does Kazama want you as his broodmare? You're useless. Like, you are going to make the lamest baby demons ever. Like, I'm not even kidding. She has no strength, no power, no nothing. I understand. I was like, well, I have a lot of good strength so I can knock people down, but I can't sword fight because I just don't, I haven't been trained to do that. But you have no demon power? Do you not come into your demon power to a certain point? Or like, shouldn't you be able to, like, it just drives me crazy. Or like, female demons can't use demon powers. Like, well, we have the demon bloodline, and we're basically just there to breed, pop out babies, and the men are the only ones with strength and speed and demon powers. We're fucking useless. Like, what is it? Oh, we can heal. That's about it. That's all she can do. Look, I heal rapidly. That's not scary. Why does she not have demon powers? I get it that she wouldn't be a damsel in distress, but like, why did they make her a demon if she's got nothing that she can use ever? Like, at all. Like, it drives me bonkers. It just drives me crazy. She's, like, so useless. I know she tries sometimes, but, like, my demon powers that I have no idea how to use. Oh my god, you're a demon. You should be able to figure this out. Like, aside from super healing. Anyway, I unsheathed my short blade, and I moved to charge at a Fury who was about to land a fatal blow on Inoue. Ugh! But another Fury came from behind, pulling my hair. Just then, Inoue let out a blood-curdling scream, and the sound of his flesh being sliced open made me wince. Why did you have to say it like that? Then it seemed like he fell unconscious, slamming against the ground. What? What? I felt my eyelids stiffen, and I couldn't blink. That came out like, what? Too much of a whisper. Blood was gushing from Inoue's body, and his eyes were glassy, as if the light had suddenly left the once bright twinkle in his eyes. Oh my god, could you make this any more devastating? What? What just happened? My brain refused to process it. This can't be real. You're okay, aren't you, Inoue? We still need to make it back to Hijikata. Inoue, who had been one of the kindest people I'd met in the Shinsengumi, was now dead. Poor guy. Every time it hurts. I'm used to it, but it's still like, fuck, man, I was really hoping maybe. These kinds of things don't happen, right? Yeah, they happen about 12 out of 12 times. Well, they've happened 10 times out of 10 right now. We're going for a 100% streak. Inoue, please wake up. I was in a near hallucinatory daze, trying to run up to Inoue as if he were just knocked out. And I'm pretty sure, aside from in Yamazaki's right, Yamazaki dies in most of them. There are times where they specifically say he's dead. And there are times where they're like, he's been fatally wounded, and they never say whether he died or not. And then there's other times they never mention it. So, I mean, I don't know, are we supposed to assume that he dies every time? Like, that's really fucking sad. Of course, Ryoma dies every fucking path too, except for his, so. However, I'd forgotten that my hair was in the hands of an enemy Tosa soldier, and I couldn't move. Just then. Oh, it's Sakamoto, isn't it? It's gotta be him. It's his fucking path. Can we see him already? Jeez. Always got the worst luck, don't you? I heard a familiar voice. However, the tone of said voice was different than I'd become accustomed to hearing it. Whenever I'd heard it in the past, no matter how tough or tense it was, there was a warmth to it. This time, however, it was unmistakably cold. Timidly, I looked in the direction from which I thought I'd heard the voice. This is going to see him in that sexy uniform. Yeah. Oh. Oh. They all get this, like, Western style, like, these new uniform makeovers in Edo Blossoms, and I can't tell you, like, I fucking dig it. They look hot as shit. Oh. Don't move. Anyone budges, I'll shoot. A man adorned in foreign attire appeared, who for some resembled Sakamoto. The moon hung above the winter sky like a white sickle, and the light gleamed on his sharp cheeks. When I caught sight of him, my hair stood. In his right hand was a six-shooter pistol, and it was pointed straight for me. Why? Wait. Sakamoto? I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. The man I saw was him, so I called out to him. However, he didn't respond. He merely directed his icy gaze towards me. Sakamoto, it's you, right? Why? My hands were trembling, and I called him again. Then he fired his gun right in front of me. The bullet was aimed right next to where my foot was, hitting the ground as I lifted my leg. I said, don't move. I had no words. Rather than feeling fear from the possibility of being shot to death, I was broken-hearted to see Sakamoto behave in a way that was so completely foreign to the person I'd grown to admire. He kept his finger fixed on the trigger, and he spoke again in a cold monotone. Told you before, didn't I? I'm an enemy of the Shinsegumis. Could just shoot you right here and now, but they told me you're the only one I can't kill. Lucky you are. Sakamoto was saying things I never thought would ever come from his mouth. He's a broken man is what it sounds like to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you can kill whoever you want, but you can't kill her and blah, 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 because Kaoru, right, and my father, and he's just, that he doesn't want to be this, and they've broken him. They have fucking broken him to the point where he is just like this shell. Oh. No, I shouldn't feel bad for him. I should be like, fuck you, I'm gonna go marry Hijikata. But I feel so bad for him right now. No. Did he just say he would shoot me? Sakamoto I knew was always said that violence wasn't the answer. Or had all of that been a lie? You're coming with me. Your father's orders. What? No! Sakamoto! I tried calling out to him once more, but Sakamoto only glanced at me with disinterest, turning to face the Tosa Fury behind him to give a command. Wow. I know. I cannot wait to see them all fucking like this, because, like, shit. Oh my god. Take her to the Fushimi mansion. And Sakamoto walked into a dark alley and disappeared. Wait! Please! At least allow me to bury in a way. Please! I desperately screamed at the Furies, but no one seemed concerned in the least bit about me. My voice was a whisper in the darkness. Sakamoto, we trusted you and we loved you, and you would do this to me? Afterwards, the men had led me, after tying me up, to the Tosa domain located in Fushimi. Waiting at the entrance to meet me was... Wow. Okay, that scares me a little because he's like a cross. Why is it there's something, it's like, he's got the cap on, which just makes me think he's like, dude, there's something Nazi about what he's wearing. I don't know what it is. There's something that's like, dude, this is not my favorite costume of the Western outfits, but you also look like the bad boy who's got a motorcycle and is probably going to get me in trouble. like, at the prom. Like, the 1960s, like, rebel with the Nazi flair. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know what it is, but wow, who'd have thought she was Koto's daughter? Like Sakamoka. I just, there you go, I hyphenated their names for you. Anyway, like Sakamoto, Nakaoka, dressed in Western attire. As I was led past him, he sneered over me like I was some despicable creature. Since you're a Shinsengumi, I want to gut you nice and quick, but I have strict orders not to. Why do you hate us so much? My wrist became sore from being bound together behind me. My question came from a deep grimace. What do you mean, why? Don't you know? No it wasn't. Don't you I knew what he was going to say before I even got to the, don't you know? The night at Omiya, it was the Shinsengumi who had us murdered. That's not true. We're actually coming to warn you. I sat on my knees trying to plead my case to Nakaoka, and he kicked me in the cheek. Ugh. Not just that night. At the Ikeda Inn, the Hamagori Rebellion. You have any idea how many of my comrades have their blood on your hands? What could any of you Shogunate dogs know about the state of our country right now? You are being a little too Nazi right now for me. Like, it's just, you need to leave. You need to leave. Because of you, Westerners are going to take over Japan as a colony and enslave our people for generations to come. Isn't it supposed to be Nakaoka? Why is this Nagaoka? Wait, what? Anyway. Looked like the tears were beginning to form inside of them. He was right. Many of the Shinsengumi men had made a point to slaughter many nationalists. On that alone, he had a legitimate grievance. You're not the only ones who've had their comrades murdered. You guys murdered Inoue. A man who's shown anyone anything other than generosity since joining the Shinsengumi was just murdered in cold blood by the Furies. Who's not shown anyone anything other than. Who's shown anyone anything other than. Not. I wished to say more, but my sobbing stopped me. I knew that crying couldn't help me here, but couldn't be helped. The tears blurred my vision. If I hadn't so needlessly spoken out on impulse, maybe Inoue would have lived. He'd been like a father figure to me, looking out for me as long as I had known him. I had nothing to show for it, no way to repay him. So what? Just returning the favor for all you guys did to us. As Nakaoka continued barking his spiteful words, I bit my lips. Heard you're some fancy demon from a fancy clan, but you have no powers, do you? No, I'm fucking useless. So for us, Furies are the better investment. Hey, Sakamoto. Why would you do this to me? I loved you. I saw Sakamoto off to the side, staring at me with disinterest, and he muttered to himself, this could have all gone so different. This is making me so sad. This is the good ending, and I am so fucking sad right now. Like, I feel sad that he's looking at us with disinterest, and I'm like, oh, I was gonna sacrifice all my friends. I was torn so hard between my Shinsengumi friends and you, and you're doing this to me, and oh, I've been a fool. This is almost, not quite. It's about half as painful as when Okita said he was going to kill me if I showed my face again. This is more painful than Inoue dying, because I'm used to that. I'm not used to this. I'm used to Inoue dying. It still hurts, but this hurts more. Yep. I was in disbelief to what I was seeing, and my heart ached as he just glared at me coldly. So, had Sakamoto become an enemy of the Shinsengumi after all? I tried to keep myself in denial that any of this had been happening at all. You know, I never really thought I'd ever give him my humanity. Feels like I owe it to my good buddies, 6 feet under, to use my powers to finish off the Tokugawa era once and for all. As Nakaoka monologued self-righteously, he shot me a hateful glance. If I could flick you off, I would. Fuck you, Hijikata taught us well. Let me warn you now, trying to escape will only bring bad things. Good, I don't give a fuck. Luckily, when you're hurt, you heal right up. So if you try any funny business, I have no problem punishing you without mercy. Nakaoka and Sakamoto left me alone in the room, and I was still tightly bound. As I'd gotten some time to myself finally, my mind immediately jumped to Inoue. I remember one spring day many moons ago, I'd made a red bean paste treat, and he seemed to enjoy it so genuinely. This is the worst! Okay, this good ending is the fucking worst. This is the absolute worst. I mean, like, I'm crossing my fingers that it'll end well, because I can't even imagine the bad ending and the unrequited love ending. This is going down that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus. But, like, it's just, Inoue dies in every path. But now all of a sudden it's like, let's just make it, let's just dig the, like you already have a knife in your chest, right, from Inoue dying. You're like, no, Inoue, we're used to it, but it still hurts. And now they're just like, let me just twist it a little bit. Let me just twist it and get it a little deeper. If it wasn't sucking, oh, and by the way, you know, Ryoma, who you love, and he was so nice and sweet, he doesn't give a fuck right now, and he's all bitter and whatever, and no! Oh, if this was a bad ending, I would get it, but this is the good ending, guys. What the fuck? Oh, God, this is going so fucking wrong. Anyway.
Delicious. It will undoubtedly make someone a very lucky husband, Yukamura.
You'll make someone a lucky husband. Oh, someone will be a lucky husband to have me. I'm like, that just sounded weird. I was like, wait, in a way, are you being funny? Right. He always heaped praise on me. Just like when we moved to Fidoto Village.
Oh, you're pouring some tea for me? How kind of you. Thank you. My, we sure have come a long way, haven't we? Perhaps it was fate that brought us together.
This is gonna make me cry, man. Guys, I'm gonna cry. You're welcome.
Let us continue to support Asami and Toshi together while we can, alright?
When Saito and Heisuke had left the Shinsengumi and tensions were high, Inoue remained jovial, doing his best to improve everyone's mood. I'm not sure I could possibly count how many times his kindness saved me from myself. I can imagine what became of his body. Was his body still sprawled along the frozen ground? I hope Hichikata found him. Or had someone come for his head? No, I can't let myself stay trapped in here. I couldn't let him down by failing to fulfill the mission he passed on to me in his dying moments. Is anyone guarding this room? If so, I wondered how many men there could be. I put my ear against the door, but I heard nothing. Wait, what should I do? I want to find a way to escape, but that's apparently a good way to get to the bad ending. We were supposed to stay and talk to Sakamoto. Fuck that shit. You know what? I know we're supposed to do the right thing, but now I'm too hurt. My pride is hurt. I think waiting for Sakamoto may be better. From what I'd seen from other Shinsengumi members who had become Furies like Sanan and Heisuke, their personalities hadn't changed much. So that tells me that this shift in character was deliberate, and he, for whatever reason, is acting out on purpose. No. Well, it could also be that he's broken. Like he's miserable and a broken man. I don't know. Of course, it also meant that the side of himself that he'd shown me was all an act as well, but just then the sliding door opened. The person who entered was, yeah. Given up already, huh? Makes my job easier. He still spoke with this unfamiliar coldness in his voice, and it made me sad hearing it. However, then Sakamoto quickly moved behind my back and began to work on untying the ropes binding my wrists together. Huh? I was so confused, and I looked back at him. Was he really just being... Okay. God, that hurt me so bad. Shh, don't make a sound. If someone comes in, it'll be big trouble. It'll be trouble. He brought his voice to a whisper, and his face... It was the same warm, adorable Sakamoto that I knew so well. He shut his eyes briefly, exhaling as if he'd been caught in a wrongdoing, and then began to ask me, I swear to God, if he's like his normal self, I swear to fucking God, if you don't just grab and kiss this man right fucking now, girl, you've got problems. For fuck propriety, because I literally was like, they broke him and he's mean, and oh my God, what are we, I mean, it's gonna be the good ending and we're gonna fix it, but this makes me so sad. Literally, I mean, did we not just say this like 2 minutes ago? It really hurt me, man. I was hurt. And now he comes in and he's like, sweet. I'm so glad I could pull that act off. You believe me, right? And you're like, like, I would just grab that man and fucking kiss him. Thank God you're not. Thank God you're not that cold bastard. Oh my God, I was so sad. I thought I was gonna die. Inoue's dead, and that was sad. And then you with like a knife to his, and he'd be like, because you just kissed him, but like, worth it. Anyway, the man you were with, Inoue, was it? When I had him buried him in a grave for you, his death is kind of my fault. Sakamoto bit his lip bitterly, casting his eyes toward the floor like an embarrassed puppy. I'm sorry. While I appreciated his sentiment, Sakamoto's words made Inoue's death just a little more real. I could only look down, and I'd begun sobbing. After spending some time shedding tears for Inoue, yeah, okay, just sit there. We don't have time for tears. Spacey, get the fuck out. Sakamoto looked at me apologetically and took out my kodachi to hand to me. I'm giving this back to you. It's important to you, yeah? Thank you. And a sense of familiarity and security returned to me when I accepted the kodachi. Thinking about it now, it was my father who'd originally passed this kodachi down to me. Considering how things went the last time I saw father, thinking about him gave me mixed feelings. After a brief pause, I asked Sakamoto something. Sakamoto, why were you acting like that earlier? Well, I can't really fool anyone if I'm not totally believable, can I? I'm trying to find out what Nakaoka, Koto, and Kaoru Nagumo were plotting. Nakaoka... I recalled the hateful glare he directed towards me, and my heart sank. He really did seem to harbor a lot of resentment for the Shinsengumi. Well, like he said, he sort of lost a lot of buddies to you guys. So were you resentful toward us too, Sakamoto? Sakamoto seemed to consider the question for a moment, scratching his chin before facing me. You said it yourself, didn't you? Inoue's dead because of us. The grief of losing a friend, or your family, or your ancestors. There's no limit, really. When does it end? He's actually kind of a sweetheart. Like, we shouldn't have to kill each other. We should be able to sit down and agree to things. And you're like, oh, oh, so cute. You're like the predecessor of the modern vegan. Like, no. Pets are friends, not food. You know, except for you're going to keep eating animals because, you know, it's really hard to be vegan in Japan, apparently. But fish are food. But, you know, maybe we could be friends with other things. Like, oh. They probably treat their animals better than we do. So they don't feel guilty about it. They're like, nice cow. Now we're going to kill you. As opposed to us to like jam everything in like tiny little cages and we treat them like shit. You know, if we made our food happy before we killed it, our food would taste better. Happy chickens make happy chicken parmesan or whatever you're making with chicken. Happy chickens lay happy eggs and it makes you happy when you eat them. That's all I'm saying. More than anything, there's so much work we gotta do to get Japan to the right track. No sense wasting time with petty conflict. His words relieved me. At the very least, he seemed to retain some of the kind-heartedness I'd grown to like, love. So, that said, let's boogie. No point in us sticking around. Boogie? Oh, honey. What fucking... Okay. So you had some, like, 1950s, 60s lingo, and now all of a sudden you put on some Western clothes and it's like the fucking 70s up in here? Jeez. Where would we go? Well, we'll wing it as we go. Come on. Oh, wait up. I followed Sakamoto as we ran out of the room. Uh-oh. We were racing down the hallway when... Hold it. Just before the exit, Nakaoka appeared before us. Where you think you're going? What do you plan on doing with her? I can't tell you that it would be inappropriate to speak of a lady that way. Oh! Wow, Ryoma. Nakaoka probed his questions towards Sakamoto, who offered a nonchalant reply. You know, we've been pals for some time. And I always thought we'd be a team, but... This isn't me, man. I'm out of here. What did you say? Now, this might be a little strange to say, since I'm a Fury and all now, but... Look around you, man. Shit's bigger than any of us. You turn back now and you're dooming us to the same fate as what happened in China.
You stupid! You've been given a gift from the gods to defeat the Tokugawa clan.
Tokugawa clan's already done. Hurry up and settle the terms of defeat so we can stop the fighting, or shit'll just get worse. This country needs people who'll be able to handle all the political, diplomatic stuff that the Bakushin used to do, too. If we want someone like that, it'll take lots of time and effort. What's the point in tearing it all down first?
Sakamoto, you're naive. We'll never establish a congress with big clans like the Tokugawa always in the way. If Japan keeps feeding its biggest feudal lord, then we'll never break out of the cycle from the Tokugawa era.
So what's your plan? Use your fury powers to remove the Tokugawa clan from power?
That's right. Have you forgotten?
Takechi Sensei, Izo, Kusaka, Takasugi, Takechi Sensei, Izo.
Zui-san Takechi, a Tosa warrior who acts as the leader of the Tosa Loyalist Party. He was imprisoned on the orders of Yodo Yamauchi and eventually committed suicide. Izo Okada, a country samurai from the Tosa domain. He joined the Tosa Imperialist Party and assassinated many people under Takechi's orders. Kinsui Kusaka, a Choshu warrior who acted as the central figure of the Imperialist National Party. Imperial Nationalist Party. He committed suicide during the Hamaguri Rebellion.
So these are all his buddies? Okay, nice. Yeah, name dropping. Whatever. Like, the fuck? I can name drop too. It's not that I know these people, but like, whatever.
Our new Japan can finally come to fruition the way we dreamed it would. Failure isn't an option. We can never face them and waiting for us in the afterlife if we fail.
Even if we take down the shogunate with fury powers, then all the credit's going to Britain and Kyoto for giving the serum to us.
Should that happen in the future, we'll just be in...
Oh, that's ahem. I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Should that happen in the future, we'll just be in debt to Britain. We'll never stand a chance. You think that's what our fallen comrades would have wanted? Same goes for Kyoto. He couldn't give less of a damn about what any of us are working towards. Soon as they get what they want from us, then they'll turn the tables on us. You think you could handle them then?
Huh! Figure it out as soon as the war's won.
Yeah, but China and India thought the same thing.
Sakamoto, have you forgotten the Tosa days? Back when all those tight-ass samurai would tell us that country samurai weren't real samurai.
Fucking samurai with the samurai and the samurai with the samurai. It's like the Smurfs. Have a samurai day. What the samurai? Smurfs use Smurf as like a, anyway.
When our comrades in the Tosa Loyalist Party was snuffed out, and we had to go into hiding somewhere, either the Satsuma or Choshu. You too, in order to defeat the Tokugawa and end all the injustice in this
meritocracy? What's a meritocracy? I don't know. Political thing. Anyway.
You've been working as a Tosa spy.
Yeah, about being a spy and all. As of today, I quit. Go ahead and tell the daimyo for me.
What?
Actually, better yet, might be easier to just tell him that Sakamoto died. Nagoka's eyes grew wide.
Sakamoto, you son of a bitch! You're just gonna turn your back on Tosa, your comrades, your beliefs, everything you worked for?
Yeah, because I'm that fucking awesome. Turn my back. It's kind of harsh even for you. Oh, fighting stance. Oh! Since the start of it all, I've only been working for one thing. The future of Japan. Ooh, magic bullets. Okay, so we'll give Tim the intern credit for making the really cool, like, firework display thing that just happened, right? Because he does do really cool effects. He just really sucks at typing. They shouldn't make him type, but anyway. Sakamoto quickly reached for his gun and he pulled the trigger. However, Nagaoka drew his sword in the blink of an eye, deflecting the bullet with superhuman speed.
You idiot! No way a bullet's gonna work against a fury.
This way, Spacey.
They will if they're silver bullets.
Oh, am I dying?
It's a silver bullet, bitch.
Sakamoto grabbed a hold of my hand and he pulled away into the direction away from Nakaoka.
Wait!
Nakaoka attempted to run after us, but Sakamoto fired his gun back at him to stave him off.
Furies, round up! Don't let them escape!
Nakaoka's shriek echoed throughout the Tosa domain residence. Somehow we managed to escape and found our way outside of the building, but... Hey, it's basically the outside of the Fushimi Magistrate, but just flipped. That's what it looks like. I don't actually remember if the building was on the other side, but it just looks reversed to me. Like, fuck! No sooner than we had exited the building had we been surrounded by a gang of bloodthirsty Tosa Furies, and I heard footsteps behind us. Maybe he just stands casually.
Want to change your mind, Sakamoto? You can take it all back. We're dead men to the public. Now we've been gifted another chance to make a difference for our country.
I've been dead for a long time now. I don't think it's a good idea for the dead to mess history. Gotta know when to call it quits, man.
Seems like you've made up your mind then. Fine.
Nakaoka withdrew his sword and he began to command the Furies who had us surrounded.
Furies, capture them. The girl lives. Sakamoto doesn't matter.
All at once, the Tosa Furies took out their guns and swords and they pointed their weapons at us. Sakamoto! Suddenly, the air on Sakamoto had changed, and he stood upright as he spoke to me softly. Spacey, no matter what you do, don't separate yourself from me. You got it? Okay. Yeah, you want me to just jump on your back? Can I just get a piggyback? I will wrap myself around you. Literally, I'm like, wrap myself around him. Like, okay. I'm holding onto you real tight. My legs around your waist. My arm, like, but I'm trying not to choke you. Okay, ready? Let's go. And I'll kick. I'll kick as you fire. Just don't shoot my feet. It'll fine. I'll heal. The sword-wielding Furies had started to charge toward us with a frenzied look in all of their eyes. Sakamoto began unloading his bullets into the horde. However, the bullets were simply absorbed by the mad Furies, who healed swiftly afterwards. Huh. With humans, all it takes is one shot to take them out, but... Sakamoto had a troubled expression, showing frustration at not knowing where to aim. Aim for the head. Heart. I'd be like, aim for the heart or the head. The gun-wielding Furies, on the other hand, gave us no room to breathe, and they came to attack us. Then one of them went straight for Sakamoto. Damn it! Sakamoto tried to move the line of sight on his pistol to the incoming Fury, but there was no time. Instead, I reflexively swung my Kodachi at the Fury. Nice! Spacey, I'm so proud of you. You saved your man. Oh, can we give her... Wait, okay, ready? I know she tries sometimes, but it's just really like, you actually made it. You managed. Wow. The Fury groaned from the wound, but the gash I'd cut into him had healed almost immediately. Still, it was an attempt, and you bought him seconds. Save my sick in there, Spacey. But there's no end to this if we keep up. If we keep up. Okay, wait, hold on. Finally getting it, eh? Too late now, though. Anyone who gets in our way will suffer my wrath, and I'll show them no mercy. Do you kind of just want to have a path with him now? Because you're like, he's such an evil bastard, and you're like... The other evil bastards were, like, really douchey, but also he's Saint Germain, so, like... There's also that part of me that's like, but he's Saint Germain, and Saint Germain got stabby, and we were totally okay with it, but, like, I kind of want a path with him now. Like, Miki's hot, but a douchebag, and Takeda was hot, but a douchebag. Like, and you get over it because you're like, oh my god, Takeda's got such fucking... God, he's such a fucking cunt, right? Like, and Miki's an asshole, but they do that. They hold their noses in the air, and they're snotty little bitches. But this guy, you're like, I don't know what it is about him. He's angry and violent, but he looks hot when he's wielding his sword, and I don't know, like, whatever. I take a path with him. He's not the prettiest out of the dudes. Like, there are some pretty assholes. But I don't know, I just like him for some reason. Nakaoka readied himself by getting into a fighting stance, and as he lifted his arm to move closely to strike, he was interrupted by a gunshot. The gunshot didn't come from Sakamoto, however. Uh-oh. Yo, looks like you guys are having trouble settling your business. Kind of rare to see you backed into a corner, isn't it? I heard someone's voice from above. Oh, Shiranui. Then the figure leapt from the roof, landing in the middle of us all. I kind of just sat and watched y'all kill each other, but I could have just sat, yeah. I can't really get behind letting this demon girl get handed over to a bunch of fakes either. I'll help you out. This man was Shiranui, the demon. Why, Shiranui? The hell are you doing here?
Words out the Tosas joined the Satsuma Choshu, so I had to see for myself. Daimyo made up his mind, did he?
Oh, I see. You saved me. Guess I've been building enough karma to finally cash in on some divine intervention, huh?
Heh, whatever.
Shiranui just shrugged, and he swiftly unholstered his gun to fire at the Furies. Well, let's get out of here, Spacey. This is our best shot at running for it. But a demon, Shiranui, I'd seen him with Kazama before. Was it all right to trust him? Well, I can't trust him, but I trust you. What's the matter, Spacey? Let's move. I can't trust him is a bad fucking ending, okay? Bad fucking ending, Spacey. Whatever. I can't trust him. That's true. I'll trust you, Ryoma. That is also true. So out of those two, I trust Ryoma. I don't trust Shiranui. Trusting Ryoma is number one. So, yes. I mean... Oh, nothing. If you trust him, Sakamoto, I trust him too. I'd be like, if you trust him, I trust you. No, I don't trust him, but I trust you. Oh my god, we've got all the romance points. We already had them before. We could have chose every fucking thing wrong, but we didn't. Great. I won't let you down.
You owe me one, Sakamoto. You better not die or I'm gonna kick your ass.
Shiranui screamed, firing at each Fury one after the other in quick succession.
Huh, you idiot. Guns won't work on Furies. Who's the idiot? My gun isn't for killing you. It's to stop you from killing me. Don't you know?
See the magic? Like, Tim's good when he does shit like that. Like, that was cool. In one breath, Shiranui had killed every single Fury lined against the wall. All of the constant noise from the gunfire made my ears ring, and Sakamoto looked down at me. We've just been standing there. Are we running or not? All right, Spacey. Hang on to me. What? Sakamoto! Sakamoto grabbed a hold of me with both hands, picking me up easily. Then, thanks to his powers, we were able to jump swiftly over the tall wall in one go. See, he became a Fury, he has powers. We were born a demon. We're fucking useless. Okay, we're not useless, but I mean, like, as a demon, yes. No, show me that CG. Oh. Please bring me back down. I'll manage. Save the request for later. We stop now and those guys will pump us full of lead. As we descended back down the other side of the wall, the sound of bullets being fired rang out from behind us. Even though he was carrying me, my stomach was turning from the feeling of floating down. And every single bullet firing startled me, and I'd watch the tiny metallic balls whiz past us. Sakamoto, despite all the chaotic sights and sounds, still found time to banter coolly. Man, you're pretty light. You sure you're eating enough? Oh my god, can I just not even fucking tell you? Oh my god. So, I'm like gonna fall over. That's like one of the best, Okay, I was playing Collar X Malice, because by now you know that we're playing that game. And I don't think the parts come out, but there is a part where one of the guys says that to us. The exact word for words. Wow, you're really light. Are you sure you're eating enough? And I literally sat there and was like, that is like, you need to marry him. Because no man in the world just says that shit when they should. Like, I was like, maybe you shouldn't eat that, like, getting fat. I will fucking cut your balls off. Like, it is just fucking amazing. Wow, you're too light. You should eat more. Girl, marry his ass. Because, yes. Who doesn't dream of that? You're like, If a man actually said that, you'd be like, what do you want? You want something, because there's no fucking way you actually, like, feel that way. I just can't believe word for word that's pretty much exactly the line. I just twice in one day, because I recorded that part today too, and like twice in one day we've had the exact same line. That is fucking bizarre. Holy shit. Anyway. Now isn't the time to talk about this. You should focus on... As I looked into Sakamoto's eyes, even though his words were relaxed, his face was a little strained. What a man. Yeah, what a man. Capable of offering his humorous quips even as we dance with death. To steady myself, I grabbed onto him tightly. I trust him with my life. Hold me tighter. Okay. As I'd started to embrace his warm, muscular body, we'd finally floated back down to the outside of the residence. We were leaping over the wall that entire time. That's like slow motion leap. I can't believe that. He's got demon powers and slow motion leaps. With Shiranui's help, Sakamoto and I had managed to escape from the furies of the Tosa. From the distance, though, it looked like Shogunate soldiers were retreating toward Osaka Castle. Sakamoto thought it would be inappropriate for me to go alone, so he decided to accompany me along the way. Some soldiers are heading this way. Spacey, let's duck down there. Okay. Sakamoto and I ducked down into a dim alley. Warriors dressed in Western attire were marching down the mountain path. Huh? They seemed to be holding a red flag of some sort. After we watched the groups of soldiers leave at a safe distance from us, I turned to Sakamoto. Sakamoto, what were they holding? The gold brocade flag. Means these guys are official Imperial soldiers now. That's not good because now fighting against them is treason. No one wants to be an enemy of the court, so now more people will join the Satsuma Choshu. This could only mean that the road ahead will be even tougher for the men of the Shinsengumi. The Satsuma Choshu aren't hot shit, though. They can't afford to lose a battle. Sakamoto, what are you going to do now? Sakamoto gazed at me with tender eyes, looking into the starry night before smiling at me. Everyone already thinks I'm dead, so I'm going to leave the fighting to the living. But I have to be the one that stops Nakaoka and his little gang of furies. I could see this burden weighed heavily in his mind. I think I know how you feel. The water of life had been brought to the Shinsengumi because of my father. I need to do my part too, to stop my father from letting our country tear itself apart in the interest of foreigners coming and picking up the pieces. Sakamoto, may I go with you? However, Sakamoto's eyes became incredulous as I asked this of him, almost glaring at me. To be honest with you, killing all the Furies meant killing all of them, even ones in the Shinsengumi. Are you okay with that? Immediately I thought of Sun and Heisuke. Well, no. I shut my eyes tightly, thinking about the fact that they could be killed, which would mean that I'd never see them again. Made my heart uneasy, but this was something I couldn't run away from. Oh. As I tried to keep my true feelings hidden, I was about to answer that I'd be okay with it, when suddenly Sakamoto gently touched my shoulder. Sorry, that isn't something that needs to be decided now. No, that's not true. No need to give an answer immediately, but it's something to think about. Just keep that in mind. Sakamoto nodded. I'd be like, can't we leave them? Just, can't we? They're my friends. He turned back to face the misty darkness to the south of us. For now, let's get to Osaka Castle. Hopefully the Shinsengumi men are safe. I nodded back to Sakamoto, and together we made the final stretch, hoping to hear some good news. Everyone's dead. Well, there you go. All my friends are dead. Like a dinosaur. All my friends are dead. Final chapter. You know what? We're going to save the final chapter for the next part. So, because we're almost at time, so there's no point in like reading, but we'll read the final chapter and then we'll do our bad endings in the next part. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.